Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. It's Brianna Ray from BriIY here to finally bring you the final installment of making stuff with pre-made granny squares I got off of Etsy. Don't tell anyone too much, but technically there's going to be some extra surprises with this particular package. But I'll give you a little bit of a sneak peek. Look at how cute. I've got sunflowers, daisies, and I think another round of sunflowers right in there. So I've got these pre-made little daisies and sunflower, like puffy flowers, and I'm going to use these to decorate something else down the line. But they're so cute. So stick around. This is my shameless self-promo to subscribe so that you can see what exactly I'm going to do with these daisies and these sunflowers in another video. So subscribe while you can. It's an exclusive club, obviously. Okay, we're turning our attention to these granny squares. I've got a lot of them. Look how pretty and sunflowery. These aren't three-dimensional as the last ones were, but they are definitely super pretty and I can still make something with them. So this time around, the first time I did this, I had blue daisies and I made like a handbag. The second time around, I made a crop top that ended up being too long, so then I made another handbag. Believe it or not, this one's going to be another bag, but this one's going to be a very specific kind of bag. This pattern is going to be special for the readers of the world. Oh gosh, let me throw this garbage away. This is going to be a book bag, but not a book bag in like, you know, a backpack kind of sense, but in a sense that it is designed specifically to hold my books. Really what I want to do is I want to be able to measure my pattern out using kind of my biggest item, which is going to be my iPad here. So I'm going to move this book off to the side and I'm going to start laying out kind of my pieces parts here. The closure on this is going to be different, and I also want to make sure that it is going to be wide enough to fit the other book. Alright, if you remember from my last round, I'm totally out of white, but I do have this like light brown that I think kind of matches the color scheme really well. There doesn't appear to be a front or a back to these. They're both the same on both sides, so I'm not super worried about whichever direction these are going in either. So what I am going to do is grab myself a tapestry needle. In an incredibly strange move on my part, I appear to have brought out my embroidery needles and not my tapestry needles, so that was awkward. I'm just gonna grab one with a nice big loop on top because I prefer the larger loops. And also, who cares? I usually twist these nice and tight and then fold them in half so that they kind of make this little tight loop or whatever, and that is what I will shove through my hole here, because that, could you imagine? It'd be a mess. We're gonna get nice and up and close and personal, and I'm gonna take my tapestry needle through a loop on one side and then cross it over with a loop. I'm gonna go from the back. I don't think it matters. I don't know why I thought it mattered. And I'm gonna go through another loop on this side, and you'll notice here all the stitches on crochet kind of look like V's. I'm going through one side of the V at a time, up like that, and I'll pull it almost all the way through. Then when I get close to the end with just enough to tie, I will, in fact, tie it into a knot. Once again, we're going to take a super close look. I'm actually going to zoom you in a touch at these V's, because as much as I don't mind this like complementary color kind of being on the outside here, I don't want to see it as much as possible. So that's kind of the game plan here. So I'm going to take a look at those V's and I'm going to go on this V that is closest to the back and the V that is closest to the back. So you can see that. And then that's what I'm going to slice through. My corners, I usually go 1 to 1. And as I go a little bit further up, I'll move to like 2 to 2. Okay, I'm feeling pretty good. So let's bring out my friends here. So I've got my 6s right here. And I've got my 3s right here, ready to, in theory, be centered on there. All right, flip this inside out. Push out our corners. Excellent. You can see at the bottom, it's even wrapping around very nicely. So now what we're gonna wanna do here, and I'm actually thinking, because this doesn't fully cover it or flap, I'm going to do another 3 up here. Sort of make this a little bit longer. All right, we're about an hour and a half's worth of sewing in, but look at that, a little pouch. And you know what else would be really nice, since I have some of these, you know, bigger holes here, is I was originally planning on like making a long strap and kind of doing like a wraparound kind of thing, but I think we can probably pull off a button. Let's get this baby stuffed first so I know about where to place it. And look at that. Closes pretty nice. About halfway through here. So I'm probably going to want to attach the button through this hole. So I'm just going to stick something in there. I don't know. These. And this is how I'll know where to line up my button. Here's my little collection of buttons. And if I want to do, all of my yellows are really bright. Probably gonna go for a brown. Gonna need a different tapestry needle because this one is too big to fit through the holes. All right, got this one a little tinier in the back. It was a little bit more of a pain to get the yarn in there, but it does go through my button. Of course, it's not always gonna be this big, but you know, better to have it kind of more appropriately placed. Honestly, having it over top of the center of this flower feels like a good move. All right, got this nice and set. Gonna peel this guy out, and since I left my long end back here, I should be able to double knot this so that this button goes absolutely nowhere. I'm kind of gonna test it both ways. I'm gonna take the iPad out so it's a little bit lower. Obviously it would fall a lot lower on this, but we're just still gonna kind of keep it closer to the top. No buttonholes needed or anything. Just drop that through. It's a little bit baggier on top, but fine by me, right? It still fits. Pretty heavy in there. So I'm gonna try something for like a shoulder strap here. Let's see if my iPad knitter can make a decent enough handle with whatever I have remaining of this particular brown color. All right, I went with like the sparkly black that I had and the leftovers of the lining here. And it's made about 3 reasonable length pieces here that I'm gonna keep all 3 of. So it's got a little bit of extra strength to hold my stuff. All right, time to test it. Got everything capped up and closed. And we have liftoff. She holds pretty well. All right, so now here we have our bag. Just kind of as a, you know, clutch, grab and go sort of situation. But being held up and over the shoulder. So this is really it. This is the end of my granny square pattern series. I am considering getting another round of granny squares and doing the other crop top I wasn't fully able to do. The like triangle, like v-neck sort of style one. That's definitely an option. But for now, I've got several bags, and I even have a couple of leftover granny squares. At this point, someone should tell me to stop making bags out of granny squares, but man, are they cute. This is kind of my series here. Kind of got some primary color action going on here, but all of our three-dimensional flowers, just so pretty. And obviously I almost did this like I-cord thing as the strap for these guys as well, but it is what it is. And in here I have my remaining granny squares and some extra flowers laying around. But yeah, I've got a lot of different ideas for like what else I could do with these. I've seen bucket hats, I've seen triceratops with like the hexagonal ones. I don't want anyone to think that because I got these pre-made that I wasn't, that I didn't put a lot of time and effort into these, because I really did. It took me hours. I spent like an entire week doing these projects in my off time, and I'm just really proud of the way that all of these turned out, especially this one, honestly, because I know that I'm going to be using this a ton. So I think that's all I had for you today. Feel free to check out the other videos where I made these two guys. This one wasn't so much pattern in the other one as the top was, but yeah, this is what I have going on for me here. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what you saw, feel free to like and subscribe. I do put out new videos every Sunday at noon Eastern Standard Time, and I would love for you to be here for the next one. Thanks again so much, and I hope to see you then. Bye.